Welcome to End the Simpademic Sunday night version. Getting ready to watch some Sunday night football here pretty quick, but I wanted to go through this one real quickly, and I just wanted to say that this subject is going to be a little interesting because here at End the Simpademic, we love helping our fellow man, and the subject on this one is how to tell if you've been friend zoned. Now, most men out there really know when they've been friend zoned, and it's painfully obvious these days. However, when I was first friend zoned, I didn't really know what was going on at that point either. I've had it happen twice. The second time was a lot easier to get out of once I realized what was going on. But here's how you can tell if you've been friend zoned. And of course, this is somebody who says that they want to be friends, and the friend zone is not a friendly place. It is a place where a woman takes advantage of a man who is smitten or interested in her and is hoping for something more, but it never happens. And here's how you can tell if you're in that particular spot. First of all, you have this woman on a pedestal. And we had a sermon in church today about not making sex your God, not making marriage your God or relationships your God. But I would also like to add to that, don't make a woman or women your God. And I think regardless of what your particular faith belief is, you probably will agree with me that this is not a good idea. And I don't think any person or living human being deserves to be put on a pedestal. We admire a lot of people, but we don't put anybody on a completely infallible pedestal. And I think that is a very healthy way to go about things. So if you have this woman on a pedestal, what other clues are you looking for? Well, number one is that they always have you on their speed dial if they need something. You are available 24/7. If they are drunk at a bar somewhere at 2:30 in the morning on a Saturday night, Sunday morning, you are there to pick them up and you are there to get them home safely. Even if it means you wake up in the middle of the night and you have to give up some very valuable sleep to do it. And so that's one sign that you have been friend zoned. The biggest sign that you've been friend zoned, though, is if you add on top of all this that they don't reciprocate anything back. They're not there for you to do anything. They're not there for you when you need anything. They are not likewise there. Now, how this is different from, say, some of my women friends out there is again, there's no romantic hints in any of those, but those are genuine friendships where there's double reciprocation going both directions. And I think in the case of a couple of them in particular, I think I get the better end of the deal because they have helped me probably more than I've helped them. And so those are real friendships. But the friend zone is not a real friendship. It is a very cold and manipulative place. It is where a woman puts somebody who is going to be there for them, is going to take advantage of their emotional vulnerability to get resources, money, and time from that man. So those are very obvious clues to look for to see if you've been friend zoned or not. What do you do once you find all this out? Well, obviously, you lose their number. You just tell them, you know what? I'm emotionally tied to you. I have to be forthright and honest with you. And if this is not going to go anywhere beyond that, I can't talk to you anymore. It's the best way to go about this. Just cut them off entirely. Be honest. Be truthful. Don't be mean, but be blunt and honest at the same time. And, once you've figured out that you have been put in a woman's friend zone, you have to extricate yourself. And I actually previewed an Emily King video not too long ago here. I had the audio going on it, and this is from a woman who had a whole bunch of men in her friend zone, and she couldn't get them to move a granite slab. Well, these are men who extricated themselves from her friend zone and didn't bother to tell her. Now, I don't suggest anybody else do that because it kind of leaves somebody out in the blank, even if they are a manipulative woman who is taking advantage of you. But I think it's good to be honest and truthful with what your intentions and your reasons are. And that is that, you can't be friends with somebody who is going to use you as a resource for money, for time, or for favors or other things that they don't want to pay a man to do. So that is how you find out. That's how you can figure out if you've been friend zoned or not. And if you're fairly new to that concept, I would really suggest that you take a look at your female friendships and just to make sure that none of them fall into this particular bucket. Because if they do, you need to lose them. You need to lose their number. You need to block them. Do whatever you need to do to kick them out of your life, because that's the best way to do it. Is to basically not give them, don't even give them a crack in the door. Don't give them an inch and let them take, 10 yards. They can be, a woman who has you in the friend zone can be very manipulative. They are shiftier than Barry Sanders, was a running back for the Detroit Lions, who could take, a 6-inch hole in the offensive line and sprint through it for 100 yards. These women are like that. So watch some tape of Barry sometime if you wanted to get a visual of that analogy. But that is very simply what it is. How to determine if you've been friend zoned, how to deal with it, and how to get yourself out of it, and how to kick them out of your life. Because you do not need that kind of energy. You do not need somebody sucking your energy, your money, and your time out of you for nothing in reciprocation. Again, I've seen videos before of men who are sitting there with women who have friend zoned them, and they're like, "Well, we've been friends for 10 years." 10 years? What the HE double hockey sticks? 10 years of whining and dining this woman, hoping for something extra and different, hopefully hoping for an actual relationship, and it's never coming. 10 years. Wow. The insane desperation of some of these men is just unbelievable. But at the same time, I think the numbers of these weak men and simps, I think, are heading down. I've seen some content lately about men who have extricated themselves from the friend zone, men who have changed their simping ways. I think the numbers of these men are on the decline, which is good, although unfortunately I don't think it's ever going to entirely eliminate itself, because unfortunately there's always going to be some desperados out there who are going to be trying to weasel or worm their way into a relationship with a woman where one doesn't exist. So anyway, this is Jason, off to watch some Sunday Night Football with tonight's version of the Simpademic, and I'll be back tomorrow night with something different. I've just always been observing things out there, and I think I'm coming up with subjects on a daily basis right now because there's so much to choose from. Believe me, it's an embarrassment of riches out there. So you guys have a good night, have a good week. If you got to work tomorrow, don't stay up too late, because I'm going to try not to with this Eagles game. So we will talk to you guys in a bit.